Right, up front axles, 3253 White Plains Road, the Bronx.
What do we love to do here?
Axles
and drive shafts. Nice. How long have you been doing this?
35 years.
Hey Project fam, we are on location today in the Bronx, New York at Upfront Axles. As I was on my way there, something was heavy on my mind. I have to get this out. So today we want to dive into a topic that's really close to home, literally. We're talking about why you should consider buying from your local automotive repair shop instead of buying online. Axles that come online, you can get it delivered to your house like it's really convenient, but it's lacking these 5 things. So today I'm gonna talk about 5 things that you benefit from buying your axle from a local repair shop. Number 1, I'm gonna talk about service. So if an axle shop has been in business for 25 years, you better believe there is some level of customer service that's pretty good with this shop. I remember when I first walked into the shop, the guy whom I spoke to on the phone before I got there, he was sitting on a stool, he was on the phone, and he said, hey, you know what? I have somebody who walked in the shop who looks like has a lot of money for me. That's what he said. And he got off the phone and we proceeded to have a conversation. First thing I want to talk about is just having like a personalized service. When you visit like a local shop, you're not just another customer. They want you to be a regular customer. They want you to recommend and refer more customers. You are almost a preferred customer. As a matter of fact, everyone who walks into a local shop is a preferred customer. So that's the first thing, is just the level of service. So the other thing I want to talk about is turnaround time. I dropped this axle off at 8:30 this morning. I had a call by 12 o'clock telling me it was done. 2 axles done. And I know those are my axles. They're no one else's axles. I got my axles repaired and finished within a few hours. The third thing I want to talk to you about is basically just supporting our local merchants and businesses and economy. I was a small business owner for 10 plus years. I appreciate all of my customers that chose to spend money with me. If you don't support that small business will not be there. The other thing is, if I bought axles off the internet, I don't know who I'm buying it from. I go in and I talk to him and told him exactly what I'm looking for, what kind of car it's from. He understands the job. He knew exactly what to do. So that level of expertise and trust, you're not going to get that online. The only thing you could do is maybe return it if it didn't fit. And frankly, I don't even think I returned that axle that didn't fit into the beast. The last thing I want to talk to you about is it just being cost effective. There's no huge advertising for this shop. I don't have to pay any shipping. You know, I'm basically the shipper. I'm the transit person. I went and I dropped it off and I'm picking it up. Local shops have lower overhead costs compared to large online retail. That's my minivan. But all right, let's go inside and go pick up these axles. All right, y'all, let's go inside and get these axles. I got a big smile on my face, so let's hopefully everything is good. I chose to get both axles completely rebuilt, and I was pleasantly surprised that all the splines, all the thread, everything looks brand new. Like, I know I banged it up a little bit getting it out there, but it was brand new. The boots were all new. It was painted. Like, this was almost like a new axle. Y'all gotta stop buying axles online. Stop it now.
You are in the best axle shop in the Bronx or anywhere.
Can I ask you a couple questions?
That's because I work here.
Okay. Where are we?
Right, up front axles, 3253 White Plains Road, the Bronx.
What do we love to do here?
Axles.
Axles.
And drive shafts.
Yeah, do you have a drive shaft that's ready to go? There we go. See, there we go. That's a drive shaft.
Okay.
What kind of car is this from?
This actually is 4 pieces out of a Lincoln limo.
Wow.
4-piece drive shaft.
Stretch, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So all 4 pieces go on one car.
Okay.
This is what we do here.
I gotta pause the video because although Steve is doing a really good job of telling you what he works on, we keep throwing around this word drive shaft and not really giving you an idea of really what it is. It's not fair. So here I go. Here's a simple diagram. This is an example of a rear-wheel drive car. We have an engine. The engine is connected to the transmission. So when you step on the gas, you send power from the engine to the rear wheels. That power is transmitted from the transmission to the rear axle by the drive shaft. It's the long connector between the transmission and the rear axle. An all-wheel drive is pretty much similar, except you have a differential in the back and a differential in the front. And connected to those differentials are axles. So although Steve has given us a good idea that he does a lot of business with drive shafts, I am there for an axle. So he is rebuilding my axles, and now you know where a drive shaft is on a car. Nice. How long have you been doing this?
35 years.
35 years.
I had no gray hair, and I was a little skinnier.
You don't see. It kind of goes for both of us.
This machine makes them.
Oh.
We take the ends,
Right.
okay, and we take a new tube,
Right.
and we put it in the machine.
Right.
It presses it,
Right.
welds it,
Right.
and balances it,
Right.
and ready to go.
That's a drive shaft.
That is a drive shaft.
Nice. Only rear-wheel drive cars have drive shafts.
No.
Oh, tell me.
Front-wheel drive, two-wheel drive, all-wheel drive.
Wow.
Everything drive. Basically, all cars, front-wheel drive cars don't have drive shafts.
I apologize about this TV in the background. It's just getting louder and louder and louder. And yes, at some point I do ask Steve to turn it off, but it's annoying. Bear with me, please. Right.
If you have a front-wheel drive Jeep,
Right.
Cherokee, we'll
Right.
say,
Okay.
they have a drive shaft. Okay?
Right.
A car like a Honda Civic, an Accord does not have a drive shaft, unless it's four-wheel drive. But most cars today are all SUVs.
Wow.
If you're going to say, what have we got, 60% of the cars on the road have got to be SUVs, right?
And they have two
So
drive
they
shafts.
have two drive shafts, 4 axles.
Wow. So that means your business has increased a little bit.
Well, it goes up and down, but yeah.
So we're talking cars, right? What make or model you see most of in your shop?
Drive shafts,
Yes.
we do a lot of CRVs, we do a lot of Jeeps.
Is it because there are more of those cars on the road?
BMWs, yeah.
Okay.
There's more of those cars on the road.
But it's not like it's a bad quality. It's just a volume thing.
Don't ever ask me about quality of cars, please.
That had 2 or 3 years life remaining.
I'm a 70s guy, so those cars, you can't beat those cars compared to the cars.
You can't. You really can't.
I mean, I drive a new car too, so, and it has all of that. Two drive shafts, 4 axles, so,
So, see, what you don't know is on my way down, my whole pitch has been about supporting local businesses.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, instead of buying things online,
Right.
support local businesses for like 5 different reasons.
Right. Well, see, that's what happens
Schedule
to
your
us
free,
is
no obligation
why
consultation.
we get slow and busy because a lot of people buy online and Chinese
Jump.
But they don't see this jump. When the word new comes into something, it don't make a difference, right? New is better than old, or better than used, or better than rebuilt. Because it's new, but the quality is not there.
Well, this news is for you.
I told him a story when I needed an axle for all-wheel drive 750,
Why?
and I bought it online. I bought cheap junk, and it came in. It looked nice and pretty, and I went to put it in, and it got stuck in the differential because the tolerance is off.
Correct.
Book your next
So
vacation
it's a BMW 750.
Yeah.
So right here you got right here. See these old ones on the floor?
Yep.
Those are all BMW.
Yeah.
We sell a lot of those.
over 175
Okay, because people have the same problem you did,
Yep.
and they're tired.
Yeah.
Pop it in
Yep.
and out, they don't go, they leak, they break fast.
Any upgrades?
So we do originals.
Okay. What advice would you give my subscribers regarding your axles and drive shaft business?
Well, we rebuild original axles. Okay, that's what we've been doing for 35 years. Before they started making aftermarket.
Right.
They didn't make them when I started. So in them days, when I started, maybe a year into it, I was selling 100 to 125 axles a day.
Oh, I gotta pause it. I don't want the TV in the background to dilute what we just heard. 100 to 125 axles per day. All right. The other thing is I want to make sure I clarify what Steve is saying. He's not saying don't fix your axles. He's saying that when your axles are leaking because the boots will rip, when they rip and they're leaking, he said take those axles out and have those axles rebuilt. That's good quality stuff. Don't replace it for the junk you get off the internet because you don't know where they're buying the internals to fix your new axle.
125 axles a day.
Wow.
But then the new ones came in, the Chinese ones, it just slowly went down. And then it brought the price of our stuff to rebuild down.
Right.
It knocked a lot of the guys out of business. But me being a small place, a fighter,
Yep.
I just stayed in here and I did it by myself. I
Right.
had just me working
overhead.
there.
Yeah.
It was me and I had one delivery guy.
Yep.
And I did that for about 15 years.
Wow. Everyone thinks it's glamorous to be your own boss. Sometimes you gotta roll up your sleeves and do the work too. Steve definitely put in that sweat equity to get to the position where he is today. For all you entrepreneurs who are out there who don't want to put the work in, you're not ready.
By myself.
Wow.
So now I got me and James. And James does most of the work now. I gotta say that.
He's doing some work over there.
James also fixes computers if anybody needs computers.
Oh, does he really?
Oh yeah, he does. He's a computer geek.
Oh. Oh. One last question. Is there anything they can do to extend the life of an axle, or a boot will rip regardless?
The boot is just like your shoes.
Right.
Okay, they wear out.
Right.
It's just inevitable. Wears out on my car, your car, everybody's car.
Right.
Just like everything else. Your shoes, your pants, it all wears out. Especially in New York. The roads are not good, which is good for us.
Would you say if we're talking about an all-wheel drive car, front axles wear out faster, or the boot rips faster than a rear axle because of?
Yes, because remember when you drive a car, you turn in the front axles, right?
Right.
Left and right. The
Right.
ones just in the back, just the car just goes up and down. They don't spin.
Right.
So basically, most of the time, the rear ones don't wear out unless you have an accident. Which
you
we
have
see
an
a lot of because we have a lot of auto body guys that come in.
All right, there you heard it from an expert. This is what you can do to
Solve your problems.
solve your problems.
Just stick with original, even if you don't come here. It'll save you a lot of problems and headaches.
Agreed.
Trust me. You could go to the junkyard and get an original, or the dealer. Just don't buy the aftermarket ones. I'm not putting anybody out of business, but you're going to save yourself a lot of problems.
Very nice. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
As I was talking to Steve, I was just thinking one thing, like maybe I need to visit more repair shops.